Yes, one new sub I got was Syndra Popali. I think it's just that, debut October 31st. She only has a few videos, but already pretty freaking funny. And especially what I would recommend is the dog with the knives. I love it. And the one with the lightsaber. The song is nostalgic. Pink spare what now? That's also nice. Like, her reaction to the things are actually quite nice. And I looked at every single one of them, and it's really wholesome on some part. And yeah, she also twitches that and that. And what I actually like is her character itself. It's pretty creative, to be honest. Like, I'm actually quite surprised she did what she did.
Become a Jedi Knight, but your life...
This is her best video, in my opinion. This is just the best joke in it, so watch that, please. I was actually surprised that a YouTuber that's really that big actually could ever subscribe to a little guy like me. Oh, this is something I'm gonna see to a later date. But right now, as it is, let's continue the LegalEagle Doxxed Film. By the way, if you like my content, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification button. And by the way, there is a new feature on YouTube, as I actually mentioned. If I say subscribe, then the freaking subscribe button or like, the like button should make a nice little swoosh. So, look at that. Look at that, please.
So one of the world's largest reaction YouTubers, Sniperwolf, has seemingly doxed another YouTuber, Jacksfilms, and they weren't exactly on the greatest of terms to begin with.
Yeah.
We know where you live and we came to torment you.
That's not even that far. I mean, it's funny, but it's not even that far. It's really true.
Now, one of the unwritten rules of online flame wars is that what's said on the internet stays
on the internet. Yes. Yeah. Basically. Yep.
But if an online adversary were to, say, move your dispute from the internet to the real world by making an unannounced visit to your home address late at night, then posted a picture of said home to millions of their followers while demanding that you two should talk, well, that's the kind of thing that might alarm a reasonable person. And perhaps a person whose home
might alarm a reasonable person, dude. Yeah, I mean, I know he's... this guy's just fine. I love him. This is beautiful. Sorry, I don't even know if I can. I really feel inferior in the gaze of his. It's just beautiful.
Home was shared with millions of people might wonder aloud if crimes have been committed in the process. And that person might reach out to say, I don't know, your favorite legal YouTuber, and that legal YouTuber might then go down the entire rabbit hole to figure out if any crimes have been committed here.
And by the way, this short thing, he actually had a real problem with Illuminati. She actually lied about him and told him that he stole her content. No. And yeah, Illuminati is pretty effed up, but I ain't gonna do something about it till later.
Escalating feud between two online adversaries, Jacksfilms and Sniperwolf. Now, Jacksfilms, a YouTuber and sketchy comedian, has long been critical of fellow YouTuber and live streamer Sniperwolf. That's Sniperwolf.
I mean, I think it's about 7 months or 8 months or even half a year, but yeah, it's
with 3 capital S's for what he describes as her stealing from other creators by reposting content without permission and creating non-transformative reaction content.
A few weeks ago, I made a video about YouTuber Sniperwolf and how she's profited off the works of thousands of other creators by reacting to them in the laziest way possible. In fact, she's gotten so predictable that Twitter user Piosaurus3 made us a bingo card out of Sniperwolfisms, and we just kind of ran with it.
No!
Shaky cam? Oh, your boy's got shaky cam.
What's wrong with you?
Stop yelling. It's kind of unnecessary.
Got their car, their neighbor's car.
Oh, all right. Summarizing, sound effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this because we...
Yes! Mr. Beast captions!
Huh, I just got this crazy feeling of deja vu. And Sniperwolf.
I think I'm gonna skip those parts because I think we all know this.
With over 34 million followers on YouTube and nearly 350,000 on Twitch, denies stealing content, writing on Twitter, quote, 90% of what I upload are my ideas, people copy me, and then people like you get confused. Now, as much as I would like to weigh in on whether she is stealing content or not, that is not why we are here today. No, after a year of sparring online, Sniperwolf showed up to the Los Angeles home of Jacksfilms and his wife and proceeded to share a photo of the residence to millions of her Instagram followers. Though she quickly deleted that post, Jacksfilms accused his online nemesis of doxing, stalking, and making his family feel unsafe in their own home.
But mainly, we feel violated.
Yeah, and basically I'm just gonna get it out from my perspective again, in case there's someone new here. Yes, I think she did it. Like, she definitively did stalk her, but if it's in the legal sense, I don't know. And that's why we're looking.
We no longer feel safe in our own home.
Jacksfilms has publicly called on YouTube to demonetize Sniperwolf's channel for the post, which would prevent her from generating revenue on her videos. Sniperwolf has denied any wrongdoing, arguing that Jacksfilms has defamed her by accusing her of doxing. Sniperwolf also claimed that Jacksfilms, far from being a victim, was the one who had been harassing her by making numerous videos that accuse her of stealing content with lazy reaction videos.
This guy's entire channel is just me. Every single video for the past few months has been about me.
Sniperwolf then suggested that she might have to get a restraining order against him. So now we have two content creators who have viciously accused each other of various civil and criminal violations. So the question is, who is correct here? And since none of them run their own successful YouTube channel, I'm happy to answer this question. Now, for those of you who aren't terminally online, Jack Douglas, known professionally as Jacksfilm, is a YouTuber known for his satirical comedy videos and parodies. One of Jacksfilm's first viral videos was the WTF Blanket, a parody of the Snuggie, which garnered millions of views and was featured on CNN.
Well, morons, now there's hope with the new What the F blanket. The blanket that'll ruin your sex life.
He's also the host of a pair of web series, Yesterday I Asked You, and Your Grammar Sucks. And since joining YouTube in 2006, Jacksfilms has gained over 5 million subscribers. And on the other side of the fight is Leah Shalesh, aka Sniper.
That's them just throwing it in this perspective, because I read all of this, but getting it told again, it's actually quite nicely done.
Sniperwolf, a streamer and content creator. Since launching her YouTube channel in 2013, Sniperwolf has acquired over 34 million followers on YouTube and millions more of fans across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch. Sniperwolf's channels feature a variety of content such as video game character, cosplays, anime, video game live streaming, etc. And while her gaming videos earned her back-to-back Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards for Favorite Gamer, Sniperwolf is perhaps best known for making videos in which she reacts to other people's content.
That stupid idea of yours, it's never gonna take off. I won't be caught dead wearing a cheap bag like this.
Now, this epic feud finds its roots in April of 2022 following reports that Sniperwolf and her then-boyfriend had purchased a $7 million mansion in Arizona. In October of 2022, Jacksfilms released a video entitled Sniperwolf, announcing that he had launched a secondary YouTube channel called Jacksfilms with 3 capital J's because he was so inspired by her
I love this one.
reaction videos imploring his audience to help me get a mansion too. In reality, this secondary YouTube channel, which states credit to the creators in the bio, is predominantly dedicated to criticizing and parodying Sniperwolf for what Jacksfilms characterizes as profiting off of other creators' work through lazy reaction videos. Responding on Twitter, Sniperwolf dismissed Jacksfilms' criticism, writing,
I will say the following. His reactions have way more heart put into it than her reactions, or even mine in this case, because I still don't know how I can even make some entertaining things about it. And yes, I'm still can't really play because of my freaking hand wound, so there's that. It still didn't heal and won't heal for probably another month.
Well, I can't stand that a female YouTuber is getting more views than me, even though I make the same content. Grr, life is hard. She then writes that, quote, no one ever attacks the male react channels and suggests people like Jacksfilms are envious of her success. And while Jacksfilms has directed a lot of criticism towards Sniperwolf, he's also long been a vocal opponent of lazy reaction videos, famously going after now ex-YouTuber Jinx nearly a decade ago, who was famous for making lazy reaction content before it was officially lame.
Yo, Jinx, that was a dope-ass video, man. That was just hella tight. I really like the part where you played my video in its entirety and then didn't really react to it, just kind of sat there.
Yeah, and by the way, from that, from this situation, it was definitively Jinx basically just gave up after this. Jacksfilm, he wasn't the one that actually destroyed him, but everything considered, Jinx just gave up after a while. So yeah, do out of this what you want.
And more recently, Jacksfilm has gone after singer turned TikTok star Jason Derulo. If you've ever heard a song of his, you'd know it because he says his name all the time.
Jason Derulo.
But after a year of fighting online, the pair's feud spilled into the real world. On October 13th, Sniperwolf posted an Instagram story asking her millions of followers, quote, "Should I go visit Jacksfilms? He lives 5 minutes away from my shoot." And in another Instagram post, Sniperwolf posted a photo of Jacksfilms' Los Angeles home from the outside, imploring him, quote, "Let's talk like adults." Despite quickly deleting the post, Jacksfilms was shocked and alarmed to learn in the middle of a live stream that Sniperwolf had showed up to his house late at night.
Shut up.
She's literally outside your door.
Like 5 minutes ago posted.
Wait, what?
She's literally right outside your house.
Yeah, discreet face.
This is happening right now. Call the police. Actually.
Wait, what?
And after the stream ended, Jacksfilms ripped into Sniperwolf on Twitter, accusing her of having doxed him by posting a photo of his home on Instagram while describing the incident as creepy, gross, and violating. Quote, "What you do is disgusting, you steal content, and you stalk YouTubers." Now, if your privacy has been invaded by a YouTuber, you're gonna want a great lawyer. In my firm, the Eagle team can help. If you've been in a car crash, dealt with sexual harassment, or suffered from cancer, or have a loved one who did, we can help represent you or help find you the right attorney. It's so important to get a lawyer right away to make sure that you get a full recovery. Just click on the link that's in the description for a free consultation with my team. Because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle team.
Yeah, and by the way, his point here to actually get a lawyer if push comes to shove, yes, this is a very important thing. Like, in my opinion, or in my personal things that I actually lived through, more than half of it, if I instantly got tips from a lawyer or some professional, I wouldn't have that problem. Like, I would have months of my life just restored just like that. So there's some truth to it. Maybe not specifically his. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I think I heard only positive things out of his firm. So if you're in America, I don't think they operate in Germany or anywhere else of the riches of America. So there's that.
The link is below. The following day, Jacksfilms recorded a video expressing his outrage about the previous night's events.
Last night, Sniperwolf, a massive YouTuber, showed up outside of our home, recorded a video of our home, and then posted it to her 5.6 million Instagram followers, goading me with the line, "Let's talk like adults."
And I'll be honest, even after hearing it so many times, like, in my mind, if I think about it, if it would happen to me, I would be scared shitless. Really, because this is just terrifying. And the really most disgusting thing is you can't really do anything about it. Because they are just there and not doing anything illegal presumably. But this is pure doxing. Like, in Germany, you would have a hard time of actually doing something against it. That's disgusting.
In my 17 years on YouTube, I've never once had someone come to my home and vaguely threaten me.
Jack's wife, Erin, also voiced her concerns, writing that Sniperwolf took a video of the house and alleged that she, quote, posted it on her Instagram for all to see, with the intention of trying to, quote, instigate a confrontation. Quote, "I now have to worry about what she, as one of your favored creators or one of her many fans, may do to harm me or my family." She then pleaded for YouTube to take action to help the Douglas family and, quote, keep us safe. Then firing back at Jacksfilms, Sniperwolf denied wrongdoing while asserting that his videos attacking her content was tantamount to harassment. Quote, "This creep has been harassing me for months," then plays victim, saying, "I threatened him when I just wanted to talk to him. I have no ill intentions. It's so sad when people have to constantly create drama to pay bills."
And by the way, every single normal thinking person that looks into it, that sees the both sides in full context, no reasonable person will say, no, she didn't do anything wrong. She did. She stalked him. She literally stalked him. She literally freaking doxed the guy. And that he's afraid of that, Yeah, I understand, because what can you do against people that are really, really gigantic simps of someone and just go in and want to threaten you? Like, maybe in Texas, if you can shoot them, then there won't be any problems. But like in Germany, you basically have to call the police and let it happen 20 times. The police won't even react to it.
And Jacksfilms mocks Sniperwolf's claim that she had no ill intentions. Quote, "Sniperwolf, you showed up to our home tonight and filmed it for your 5 million plus IG followers to see. That's called doxing." After Sniperwolf's posting of and visit to the Douglas family home, many content creators were outraged by her actions and affirmed their support for Jacksfilms.
Feels like the most immature, irresponsible use of power in the world.
So Jacksfilms has accused Sniperwolf of doxing him, which he described on Twitter as, quote, "a literal crime." Well, in meme form. In her defense, Sniperwolf claims that she has no idea how to dox anyone, and then suggested Jacksfilms could not be doxed because described on Twitter as, quote, "a literal crime."
This is beautiful, yes. Dox is a literal crime.
Well, in meme form. In her defense, Sniperwolf claims that she has no idea how to dox anyone, and then suggested Jacksfilms could not be doxed because he had allegedly posted his address on Google. So, what is doxing, and is it a crime? Well, in general, doxing refers to the act of publishing identifying information about a third party online without a victim's permission. And colloquially, there are generally two types of doxing. One involves releasing truly private information, and the other is releasing information that is publicly available, but not widely disseminated or accessed. And while deleting the photo that Sniperwolf took was probably the right move, the internet is forever, so the image almost certainly exists somewhere. So is doxing illegal? Well, to give everyone's favorite answer, it depends. The release of publicly available and legally obtained information is generally not a crime. In fact, doxing itself is not specifically illegal in most US jurisdictions.
Yeah.
But if doxing is done with malicious intent to injure, individuals could be prosecuted for a variety of crimes such as stalking or harassment. And doxing can also violate the private terms of service of other platforms like YouTube, potentially resulting in demonetization or deplatforming. But interestingly, California does have an anti-doxing law. Now, Jacksfilms' home, which Sniperwolf visited and briefly posted.
Yes, I heard that, but I don't think it actually... No, she did it in... I think it depends where she lives, not where the crime happens. Even if it doesn't make sense, by the way. But could also be full of bullshit.
Posted video of on the internet is located in Los Angeles. And to determine if any crimes or torts have been committed, we have to analyze the conduct under California law. In California, doxing, also known as indirect internet harassment.
Okay, so yes, it's California, okay. California rules count. Good.
Is illegal if it rises to the level of cyber harassment, as outlined in California Penal Code section 653.2. Someone commits cyber harassment if they, with intent to place another person in reasonable fear for his or her safety, or the safety of the other person's immediate family, by means of an electronic communication device and without consent of the other person, and for the purposes of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but not limited to a digital image of another person or an electronic message of a harassing nature about another person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action.
So I think under this law, she's innocent.
Okay, that is a mouthful, but that's not the end of it, because personal identifying information is not really defined by that statute, but likely under the right circumstances, it could include things like posting the target's residential address, digital images of the target, phone number, information about their family, and so on. And under the statute, harassment is defined as a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that a reasonable person would consider a seriously alarming, seriously annoying, seriously tormenting, or seriously terrorizing the person, and that serves no legitimate purpose. Now, here, Jacksfilms and his wife have both stated that Sniperwolf posting a video of their house has made them feel unsafe and fear retaliation by her fans. But their subjective belief is not the end of the inquiry. Would a reasonable person feel the same way? Of course, there's a difference between a photo of someone's house and actually posting the address itself. That could make a big difference here. And then there's the requirement for imminent action, which probably stems from the Constitution and the First Amendment. And the fact that they haven't received this kind of harassment, at least none that I'm aware of at the moment, after this alleged doxing.
And by the way, what I want to say here is, we have literally people who found a flag on a top of a house in the middle of nowhere just because they seen a plane going by and the clouds, how the clouds are forming and frogs are chirping. So yes, sending someone's house is enough. That's enough in my opinion. But this is like some old fucks that do those freaking regulations that have no idea what's even possible with that. In my opinion, this should be, but is it? I don't think so. Legally, it's not, but in my opinion, it should be.
Might show that it did not, in fact, rise to the level of imminent action from the people that were viewing this post. Of course, no one wants their home address to be on the internet, especially in a public forum, and especially if you have some level of celebrity. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it rises to the level of the cyber harassment statute. And it doesn't necessarily mean that once it's public, something bad is immediately going to happen.
Sniperwolf is already making light of the situation, as if stalking someone is a quirky thing to do.
But of course, even if the fear of Jacksfilms' family is shown to be reasonable, and that's definitely possible, the statute requires that the information was posted with the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment. And so far, everything that Sniperwolf has said online about this incident seems to indicate that she didn't intend for any of this to happen. She just didn't quite understand all the ramifications of what she was doing, but did not intend harassment here.
I'm sorry for what you're going through.
And then on top of it, there are legitimate First Amendment considerations. Just because you post something on Instagram doesn't.
Yes, and this is the problem even in Germany. Like, if somebody plays dumb, you basically can't do anything against it. Like, somebody could just leak your address, be like, hey, go in there and party. It's a good friend of mine. It's like, yeah, he didn't intend to do something bad with it, and it's just crazy in my opinion. If somebody doesn't want that information to go out, then don't. Then yes, it's us.
That you don't enjoy robust First Amendment protections to publicize the things that you want to publicize. So when the government makes it illegal to disseminate certain information, they run right up against the First Amendment, and it's likely that Sniperwolf enjoys some amount of protection to make these kinds of posts. And that's why there are such strict requirements for the cyber harassment statute. Now, all that concerns the first kind of doxing, where you publicize information that is otherwise public. But there's still the kind of doxing where you publicize a private fact. Jacksfilms could try to argue that the briefly posted photo of their home constitutes an invasion of privacy, and maybe in the colloquial sense, but probably not in the legal sense. In California, there is a cause of action for public disclosure of private information that requires a public disclosure of a private fact, which would be offensive and objectionable to the reasonable person, and which is not of legitimate public concern. And if Sniperwolf had posted something truly private, they might have a claim, but I wager that the outside of your house and possibly even your address doesn't qualify as private for the purposes of a claim of invasion of privacy. And looking to one of California's most famous failed invasion of privacy suits, which also involves a photo of a celebrity's home online, suggests an action would be doomed. For example, in May of 2003, actress Barbara Streisand sued photographer Kenneth Adelman for invasion of privacy for displaying a photo of her clifftop home in Malibu on his website documenting the coastline of California. She demanded $10 million in damages and that the photographer remove the photo of her mansion immediately from his website. But a judge threw out the case in December of 2003, ruling that the photo did not invade Streisand's privacy and that the photo was protected speech concerning a matter of public interest. The judge also deemed the lawsuit an effort to silence the photographer's speech in violation of the state's anti-SLAPP law, and ordered Babs to pay his legal fees. And ironically, Streisand's efforts to remove this photo had the unintended effect of drawing more attention to it, resulting in nearly 420,000 people visiting the photographer's website to view the image. 2 years later, Mike Masnick of TechDirt dubbed the phenomenon of unintentionally bringing unwanted attention to something you'd rather suppress the Streisand effect. And now you too know the etymology of the Streisand effect. So photos of Streisand's home being online for months did not constitute an invasion of privacy. Then the very brief Instagram post of Jacksfilms' home on Sniperwolf's Instagram likely doesn't either. But that's just the law. Despite what you might have heard on the internet, YouTube is not the government, and it is not bound by the First Amendment. It is a private party, and it can generally set whatever terms it wants. So even if Sniperwolf's post didn't rise to the level of criminal activity, the mere act of doxing the Douglas home, even if the post was later deleted, arguably violated YouTube's terms of service and could lead to Sniperwolf to be deplatformed and or demonetized.
Interesting stuff, right?
YouTube's terms of service prohibit what it describes as, quote, harmful behaviors like threats or doxing. Now, the night that Sniperwolf shared an image of the Douglas home, Jacksfilms tagged YouTube on Twitter, asking the company to demonetize this dangerous creator or kick her off the platform entirely. Now, the next day, Jacksfilm released a video begging YouTube to enforce its own policies and demonetize and or deplatform Sniperwolf before someone got hurt. And on October 17th, Jacksfilm stated that he had sent YouTube a video and reiterated his belief that Sniperwolf's actions constituted a clear example of doxing and a clear violation of your policy against threats and doxing. And on October 20th, to many people's disbelief, YouTube actually acted. They stated on Twitter, confirming Sniperwolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk, harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place. This response was roundly criticized because, as many people correctly pointed out, this is literal both sidesing, that Jacksfilms had simply created videos criticizing what he saw as low-value content and creating some parodies, whereas it was Sniperwolf that engaged in the doxing behavior, which was a violation of the terms of service. It was Sniperwolf who had arguably doxed Jacksfilms and violated the terms of service. It was not Jacksfilms himself who... at least according to the terms of service, has done nothing wrong here. And within the hour, Sniperwolf responded to YouTube's comment saying, "Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It is inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jacksfilms, YouTube, the entire creator community."
Oh my effing god, this timing. Oh, damn, man, damn.
Sorry for my recent actions. It is inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jacksfilms, YouTube, the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example of appropriate conflict resolution. Jacksfilm, while we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I'm sorry for reacting the way I did when I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflict by communicating directly, respectfully, and privately, not for views or content, but a meaningful example of how conflict should be solved. I will reach out directly and hope we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. I deserve it, respect the decision, and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. And honestly, I've seen worse YouTuber apologies, and I hope she does learn from this moment, because even if her actions didn't rise to the level of being illegal, they were kind of a dick move. So now that Sniperwolf has been temporarily demonetized, she'll probably need to find ways to manage her finances and save money. Luckily, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, can help, because sometimes the sponsor segues just write themselves. Now, recently I had a problem trying...
Yeah, I don't want to do this. No.
Items and more. So to save more and spend less, join...
Okay, good. Good. It's already out, so it is what it is. So, interesting thing to hear. I'm honestly not surprised because the legal things in Germany aren't that different, so I can't even add that strongly, at least at my humble knowledge. But yeah, surprise. I mean, it's, sadly, it is what it is, and I really think she should get punished a bit more for doxing his home, even, or not she specifically. I mean, like, people that do this are just, in my opinion, scum. It's definitively a dick move, so take with this what you want. But as it is, my acolytes, good night. And by the way, legal, freaking awesome. Just watch the guy to death, and the freaking
What's up, guys?
Wait, no. What am I doing? No. Okay. And the other person I mentioned at the start because I forgot the name. So, good night.